What's up, guys? HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video. And in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about the meta tier list post Valiant Smashers. But before we get into that one, I want to give a huge shout out to my new sponsor, Chainlink. So if you guys do not know them, they are an amazing TCG accessories website that provides you with some of the best stuff I've seen on the market. So you have stuff from teas. This is the special summon tee, all the summoning methods on this tee. You have playmats, field centers, you have flags, which I'll go into in another video. And guys, look at this amazing Jinzo playmat right here. Seriously, some really high tier stuff. Definitely go ahead and look at their website and buy some stuff from them. And if you guys do, go ahead and use my promo code HOTSHOT for 5% off your order. But let's go ahead and get right into this video. Starting off with, of course, you have the top meta choice, watch out, high potential, experienced pilot, and tough spot. So starting off our list, we have, of course, Rescue Ace, Sinful Spoils, and I'm going to put this in top meta choice. This deck is just one of the kings of the format currently, and it's just so good after Age of Overlord with the Sinful Spoils engine added into the Rescue Ace, boosted the consistency plus the power of the deck. Going on to Vanquish Soul, deck that has high potential. We haven't seen this deck get like many tops in terms of huge tournament events, but the deck is still really, really good. And if you underestimate it, you're definitely going to get punished for it. Moving on to Testina, this deck is a deck that I honestly want to say, personally, I put it here originally when it first came out. Then I put it at watch out. It's like slowly going down, but personally for me, it's probably going to stay at high potential. This deck really is good, especially if you don't know what it does. And it's a deck that I think given the right conditions will shine. So just give it time. We'll see what happens with it, of course. Next up on the list is Marine Cess. I'm actually gonna put this at Experienced Pilot. I personally think this deck is still really good, and piloted by the right person, it can do extremely well at an event. You can change up the hand traps. It plays a huge variety of them. And of course, cards like Marine Cess Wave just drive the point home. It's a crazy deck still. Next up, we have Tier Limit Horus. Wow, part of me is like, Tier Limit is really back. That's a lie. I honestly knew it was coming back at some point. It's just too crazy, unfortunately, right? But all seriousness, Horus, let's send cards to grave. Tier Limit, let's send cards to grave. They're perfect for each other, right? I think Centurion Horus might be better. Maybe, we'll see. But definitely top meta choice. Going on to our next one, we have Exo Sisters, and Exo Sisters might actually be Experienced Pilot. They do play D-Shifter, right? A lot of decks hate D-Shifter, so personally, I always want to see this deck much higher and eventually up to like top meta choice. But personally, for like right now, it's Experienced Pilot, and there's not a budget list, but it's also very cheap as well to make. Just putting that out there. Now moving on to the headliner of the show, we of course have Centurion, and you can just do so much with this deck. Mixed with Horus, you can do so much more. Go, of course, third summon Barone, protect your plays. Your opponent's turn, Calamity Lock them. If they somehow stop that, it's okay because you have an insane board on your side. It's crazy what this deck can do. Pre-order prices, I've heard $500, $600. Kind of crazy. I wouldn't have paid that much, but please tell me you guys didn't pay that much. No. please tell me you didn't. But honestly though, really cool though, this strategy, insane for Valiant Smashers, which I kind of want to say the other two strategies aren't as insane as this, but they're really, really cool. So just want to put that out there. Going on to our next one, we have Trap Tricks. And Trap Tricks is a deck that Trap Trick. Okay, Trap Trick. Definitely watch out for that deck. This deck is really cool. It's another trap-based strategy. You guys already know. It's personally for me lower than like Lab. Definitely a strategy that will sneak up on you if you're not paying attention to it. Moving on, we have Vanadium, and it's a deck that has huge potential in my opinion. I actually been playing the deck and I love it. If you guys have not seen my deck profile, go ahead and check it out. But really cool deck to play. Has a lot of starters and a lot of ways to get certain cards in the build. And I think it deserves more wins. We'll see. Give it a few more weeks and we'll see how the meta sort of shapes. But personally, cards like Vicious Astrocloud are insane in this deck. It's really cool. Moving on, we have Branded Chimera, and I don't want to put it tough spot. I'll put it Experienced Pilot. A lot of people have not been playing this deck as much, which I think is a mistake. I feel like this deck has so much potential in terms of what it does against the meta, but we'll see if it'll go up a little more, maybe, later down the line. Going on to our next one, we have the Red Dragon Archfiend deck, pretty much Dragon Link, right? And I would want to say, I want to put high, top meta choice, of course, but I'm going to say high potential as well. This deck is really, really cool, and the new cards like the Resonator monsters are insane for not just this deck, but other decks as well. But I personally think that this is like the new Dragon Link, and the direction of where it's going is very promising. Going on to Pearly, still top meta choice. It's kind of weird because Pearly has not gotten any new support recently, and it's still like a very, very top meta choice deck for like all of my lists so far. And I don't see it falling, anytime soon, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Moving on to another top meta choice, we have, of course, Unchained. Deserves that top placement. I mean, it was in the finals, right? The mirror match, crazy. This deck is amazing, and usually the side deck cards that you play against Rescue Ace aren't very strong against Unchained, and it's vice versa. So people weren't really prepared for Unchained to kind of take that high spot, and yeah, this is what happened. But really happy for them, because seriously, they're trying to fight for that top spot in the meta. Go on to our next one. We have the Valmonica. I believe that's the right way to say that. And it's a really cool pendulum-based strategy. Now the problem is, it's like a beatdown deck, like the Memento deck, but it's like slightly worse, slightly. But it has a really cool Link 1 monster in the deck, and also a Link 2 monster in the deck as well. So I kind of want to put high potential, because we don't know where this deck is going to go. It plays the Ishizu Shuffler cards too, which makes the deck really interesting. So I think the deck will be really fun as well to play in this format. Now we have the Memento, which I'm actually going to put in Watch Out. Now, they're not meta worthy, like at all, in my opinion, but they are very interesting, and a lot of ways to get the boss monster out. Pretty much this is like your modern beatdown deck, and I love it. That's absolutely amazing, because we haven't seen a deck like that in a while. Plus, I just love the name of the archetype, Memento. If you guys know Persona 5, you know Mementos, so it's kind of cool that way as well. Now, I can't wait to see where this deck goes, and personally, I love how in Valiant Smashers, you have these 3 archetypes, which are really interesting, It's not just one really good archetype, one good archetype or okay, and then one just really bad archetype. Definitely not in this set. Can't wait to see where all these land. Going on to our next one, we have Kashtira, and Kashtira is, at this point, experienced pilot. It's lost so much. It's a going second build, and even then, it's hard. It's very hard to perform at a high level with this deck in general. But it's still a menace, but it's a very neutered menace at this point, right? Going on to Sun Avalon Rika, another deck to watch out for. I feel like every time I do a list, I put it in watch out, pretty much because it hasn't lost anything, but at the same time, it hasn't gained anything, and it's still a amazing strategy to verse against the rest of the meta. Going on to Dark World, I want to put Dark World at top meta choice. Let's see where that goes, but I mean, the new Gen and Ken have been putting in work, and just how Dark World is, it's just an amazing choice. Now, I would put this at the back, but maybe probably behind everything else of a top meta choice, because Droll is still very prevalent in the format, and that stops Dark World, unfortunately. But it's still a really, really amazing deck to have in this format. Next up on the list we have is actually Labyrinth, and I'm actually going to put this at top meta choice above Dark World. So it's interesting to see a trap-based deck turn itself to a mid-range strategy. It's like how we saw the Ultragas support from Duelist Nexus. It was kind of more of like a combo variant. It wasn't just more like, here's more trap cards, So I like the transformation, and I still have the feeling that eventually, Labyrinth will be the top tier 0 deck. It just will take some time competing against the other top decks of the meta currently. Now going on to Makonko, I'm going to put this at Watch Out. This deck is insanely strong, going second and having the builds going first. Plus, I believe you can add the Centurion stuff with Makonko, which would absolutely just make the deck even more cracked, personally. But wow, can't wait to see that. Going on to Infernoble, and Wow, and for Noble 2 is also really good. Like the Phil spelled the Noble Arms Museum. I didn't know that was like, I thought that was just once per turn. It's not once per turn. Like there's so many things you could do with this strategy, and I'm glad that it's getting more, attention, because before it would just get interrupted. That's it, it's over. There's more past the Isolde. Like someone was old, are you negated? All right, and that's it. I'm glad that there's more combos past that now. So definitely put that above like lab, probably put it like below Unchained, I guess. Next up we have is Salmon Grade. I'm actually gonna put this at Experienced Pilot. Now, I love the strategy. I love the new support that it got, but other decks are just changing so much more rapidly. It's kind of leaving Salmon Grade behind. So I feel like a more dedicated player knows the deck a lot more than the average player, of course, the average bear, and they will do well at it then with this deck. Of course, it's still possible to top or even win, just takes the dedicated player. Moving on to Sprite, I'm actually put this at top meta choice. Now, Sprite has so many variants you guys already know, but I'm glad to see a resurgence of Tri-Brigade Sprite. It's been a while since we've seen that. We got a top 32 placement at Weiss Indianapolis. Really cool to see for the deck, but yeah, a lot of potential with this deck moving forward. Now we have Runic, and it would be Runic Sprite, but also this is Runic Horus. I feel like it goes Watch Out. The Runic engine, the Runic cards have, they did get hit, quote unquote, Fountain, but after that, Konami has not really hit them at all. And I feel like this is where it kind of makes a sneak up and really takes some games. Fuck. Next up is Runic, and Runic I'm going to put at Watch Out. This engine is insane. You play with Sprite, you play with Horus, which is really cool too, to help stall out your opponent so you can deck them out, right? Really nice to see, and I don't think it's getting hit anytime soon. There are so many other focus points on the list, so personally, definitely something you really need to watch out for. Going on to our final one, and that is Floowandereeze. I'm going to put at Watch Out. This deck is, I would definitely put at like top Watch Out if I were to really arrange these, but yeah, Floowandereeze is still an amazing deck, guys. This deck is not leaving anytime soon, and definitely a top meta choice next time we do this tier list video. But come on, guys, you can't hate on Normal Summon Rubina Activate Effect, right? But all right, guys, if you like the video, make sure you give it a huge like. Comment down below, do you agree with our list, or where would you place things differently? I didn't put anything in tough spot, but we'll work on that next time. If you guys, of course, like the video, make sure to, of course, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.